What happened while we were away, brought to you by utter destruction. This morning at the Pentagon, both Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Caine had a presentation with more details about the U.S. attack at Fordow.
In the days preceding the attack against Fordow, the Iranians attempted to cover the shafts with concrete to try to prevent an attack. I won't share the specific dimensions of the concrete cap, but you should know that we know what the dimensions of those concrete caps were. Unlike a normal surface bomb, you won't see an impact crater because they're designed to deeply bury and then function. I know there's been a lot of questions about that. All 6 weapons at each vent at Fordow went exactly where they were intended to go. A bomb has 3 effects that causes damage: blast, fragmentation, and overpressure. In this case, the primary kill mechanism in the mission space was a mix of overpressure and blast, ripping through the open tunnels and destroying critical hardware. The majority of the damage we assessed based on our extensive modeling was a blast layer combined with the impulse extending from the shock. Imagine what this looks like 6 times over.
Secretary of Defense Hegseth slammed the media for trying to undermine the brave pilots on the mission.
There are so many aspects of what our brave men and women did that, because of the hatred of this press corps, are undermined because people are trying to leak and spin that it wasn't successful. It's irresponsible.
Particularly, Hegseth singled out Fox News Pentagon reporter Jen Griffin.
Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
Of course, we're watching every single aspect, but Jennifer, you've been about the worst. The one who misrepresents the most intentionally what the president says. I'm familiar.
Back to the issue of border security in the House yesterday. An egghead from the Open Borders Cato Institute testified, and Congressman Chip Roy was having none of it.
Mr. Nowrester, I assume that when you say you'd like a future with more Americans, that includes Jocelyn Nungaray. Do you know Jocelyn Nungaray? Have you talked to her mother, Alexis?
I know her. She was murdered by an illegal immigrant in Houston.
People who were released into this country with a notice to appear in court did not appear and then violently killed a young woman and is now dead. And her mother lost her. And she's one of dozens, hundreds, thousands of examples of Americans who are dead because of policies that were advocated for by the Biden administration and people parading around as libertarians. Ms. Vaughn.
Parading around as libertarians? What does that mean?
Ms. Vaughn. It means exactly what it means, Mr. Nowrester. It's my time, not yours.
That's a personal
It is my time, not yours. I don't have any time to listen to libertarian claptrap.
I know you don't have any time to listen.
That is killing Americans, because that's what you're doing, and you're hiding behind
killing
a brand
Americans?
that is resulting in the death of Americans.
Supreme Court this morning ruled that states can indeed cut off Medicaid money to Planned Parenthood. The case centers on funding for other so-called services Planned Parenthood provides in South Carolina. But of course, the ruling could have broader implications for Medicaid funds. The court split 6-3 in the opinion. President Trump's nominee for a Third Circuit Court judge is Emil Bove, who had his confirmation hearing yesterday. Check out this attempted gotcha question from Senator Dick Durbin.
I have one last question here. Do you support President Trump's full and unconditional pardon of January 6 rioters who violently assaulted law enforcement officers?
It's not for me to question President Trump's exercise of the pardon power any more than it would be for me to question President Biden's commutation of death sentences or his pardons of drug traffickers.
Terrible news. A peer-reviewed study of over 1.3 million women in the Czech Republic found that in 2022, vaccinated women, that would be the COVID jab, had 33% fewer successful conceptions per 1,000 than unvaccinated women. The study's conclusion states, quote, in the Czech Republic, successful conception rates were substantially lower for women vaccinated against COVID-19 before successful conception than for those who were not vaccinated. These hypotheses generating in preliminary results call for further studies of the potential influence of COVID-19 vaccination on human fecundability and fertility, end quote. And finally, this Supreme Court session is winding down. Let's do a vibe check, if we will, on the newest Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson and the highlights of her oral arguments this session.
So I don't understand. Can I just understand? And I don't understand. And so what I don't understand, I don't understand your argument. I'm just trying to understand your answer. I don't understand I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand, but I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. So I'm trying to understand. I'm sort of with Justice Kagan trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't understand because I'm still trying to understand. Maybe I'm just
Yeah, that goes on for another 4 minutes. No joke. Well, she is. And that's what happened while we were away.